The Red Pill is a documentary filmed by Cassie J, a woman that has identified as a feminist and follows the men's rights movement for a year. Without giving too much away, the film is eye-opening. I'd say it could be mind-blowing even for those that aren't familiar with men's rights. And it's really gotten under the skin of those that identify as feminist pretty much across the globe. In fact, it's been cancelled in some theaters due to activists speaking out and creating petitions online. For example, in Melbourne, Australia, Palace's Kino Cinema cancelled their showing of the film after what they call an overwhelming 2,300 signatures were collected in protest of the film. They also hadn't even seen the movie yet. I'm not surprised, but what I am surprised at is this fear people have of differing opinions. There was a time when the world was open to debate and new ideas, but now this attack on free speech is extending to Canada. I actually went to see the film myself, and I got a chance to catch up with Justin Trottier, who founded CAFE, the Canadian Association for Equality, who put on a showing of the movie right here in Calgary. They're no stranger to controversy. They bring men's issues to the table and have hosted speakers and talks that are deemed to be controversial to those on the other side of the conversation. And here he tells me that their Ottawa screening was also dropped.
Just as of this afternoon, we learned that the venue we were going to use for our Ottawa screening of The Red Pill decided to cancel and gave us virtually no notice. They informed us at the same time that they posted to Facebook, to the public, a message that they were revoking our permit. So they gave us no lead time whatsoever. So we've had to just sort of roll with it and decide whether we're going to cancel the event, move the event, appeal the decision if that's possible. And what we decided was our duty is really to our members and the individuals who have bought tickets, the people who have registered for an important event. And our duty is to the community in Ottawa to showcase this film, because we strongly believe that this film can bring people together. What better film than a film with a feminist protagonist who goes to investigate the men's rights movement, and spoiler alert, she discovers that we have to all work together and find common ground and get beyond those superficial differences. That's a great message that needs to be brought far and wide. So yes, we're going to do that in Ottawa. We've moved the film to a new venue, same time, different place. It's going to be in Ottawa City Hall. Couldn't have asked for a better venue. They were very accommodating to give it to us at the 11th hour, and everything else will be the same. It's still going to be this Sunday, December 4th at 3 o'clock.
So who are CAFE? You'd think they were some sort of hate group or in the business of causing trouble, right? Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Watch here as Justin tells me a little bit about CAFE and what he thinks of the extreme views coming from both the men's rights and feminist sides of the spectrum.
CAFE, which is the Canadian Association for Equality, is a registered educational charity, and we have a very broad mandate, but the focus really is on integrating the issues and the perspectives of boys and men into our conversation and our work around gender equality, which is something that nobody really talks much about, but men and boys have issues and they have perspectives which, if they were to be integrated into gender equality and into services around gender programs, then we think that families would be stronger and our communities would be healthier. This film is actually a response to attempts by, again, I want to be clear on this, the minority at the radical side of the feminist spectrum to try to shut down a conversation out of a feeling, I think, of threat, that there may actually be legitimacy to men's issues, and that is seen, and it shouldn't be seen, as a threat to women and women's rights and the progress women have made. If it were looked at with any scrutiny, we would understand that, in fact, women's issues and men's issues belong together. That's why we need to have these conversations. I run an organization, and an organization which is headquartered in a facility called the Canadian Centre for Men and Families, which is an anti-abuse organization. We have literally abuse programs that seek to support families that have been victimized by domestic abuse and by intimate partner violence and other forms of family violence. So I am the furthest thing that there is from somebody who's going to condone rape or sexual assault or any form of violence. We work with violence against women organizations. We work primarily with men who have been subject to domestic abuse and other forms of violence, but we work as partners with women's organizations and LGBT organizations to try to eradicate this scourge of intimate partner violence.
As I said, I went to see this film myself. Sure, There was some offensive language in the movie. Sure, there were some different viewpoints expressed. There were some ideas that might make a person uncomfortable, but only if they're uncomfortable with the truth. One thing that I will give away about this film is that it details how little resources are offered to men. Cafe actually offers these services in several locations across the country, and some include, like here in Calgary, peer support groups and informational men's meetup groups that cover topics like parental alienation and domestic violence. For more information on those services, you can visit equalitycanada.com. Thankfully, Cafe was able to secure another location for their showing in Ottawa for December 4th from 3:15 to 6 p.m., even though the location has changed to City Hall. But that doesn't mean that the struggle to get it to the big screen is over. Cafe will be hosting more screenings of the film, and the next one slated will be in Montreal in January, and the dates and times will be announced at a later time. You can visit equalitycanada.com/event/the red pill for more information on those showings. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks for watching. The Rebel is growing and we really need your help. Visit thebigplan.ca, and if you can, please donate to help us reach our goal of being the biggest source for news and commentary in Canada.